Hey, so today is kind of a special day. We just released PD Howler 2023, and I'm going to go just very quickly through that. If you go to the DAZ 3D, that's actually where we released it. Sorry, we had it earlier in our own place and a few others on Steam, but now also available at DAZ 3D. Build 100, we call it the OBJ edition. OBJ actually. It's a joy to work with OBJ. You see some parts like some trees that are in 3D or not. I mean, there's a variety of things that we do that look 3D, some of it that actually starts in 3D, and lots of images and examples here. But definitely you can do things like this. Now you have a 3D model, whether it's partly broken or looking great. Lots of things you can do. There's a model from NASA. You go to the NASA website, you can download those. Lots of trees included already, and of course lots of things that you can do on your own now. So let's go and check that out a little bit more. I wanted to thank somebody also on the forum. Somebody mentioned that the cursor couldn't be seen. I must have accidentally reset my recording and lost the recording of the cursor. I hope it's visible now. I don't see a way to highlight it any further, but I think that's what happened. I lost the tracking of the mouse. So now it should be recording again. All right, and of course, one thing I really want to focus on is a variety of things you can do with 3D. Some models here that you may recognize from somebody, I forget his name. Sorry, I'm bad with names, even mine sometimes. But it's interesting that you can do a lot of different types of images. And one thing I wanted to show here is just import another model. This one from Hexagon, right? So if you're using tools that come from DAZ, whether it's DAZ Studio, we've already done a couple of videos that show how to export it to OBJ. I'm going to do that now with Hexagon, and then we'll take it right in here. All right, so here we are in Hexagon, and I apologize, I'm a little bit rusty on it. I haven't used it in quite a while. I know we can do a lot of things that we used to do also in Amapi. So maybe I can build a sphere. Yeah, look at, I can still do that. Can I do an elephant? I don't know. I don't think I have time to rediscover that, but I know we had lots of tools to build basic elements and then or take some existing shapes. And then this one here, probably the fast extrusion maybe. No, first I would need to select. Yeah, see, that's where I just need to I need to play with this a little bit more. Oh, there's the facet. Okay, so can I do this? Yeah, there it is. And then maybe with the right button, change the size. There you go. So this could become an elephant if we want to think it looks like an elephant, right? So we have the trunk, and we have maybe a little bit bigger for the end of the tip of the nose. There it is. Hit enter. Yep, good. All right, so you see where we're going here. We're building a model. We're then smoothing it. Let's see if we have some lines, surface modeling, probably some smoothing here, extrusion lines. I don't know, where do we do utilities? Got to be here somewhere, some tools to smooth it. I'm just not reading this right without my coffee in the morning. Vertex modeling, surface modeling. Could it be here, one of the smoothing? Smooth, there you go. Yeah, there you go. And then we can probably use the plus minus button here, or maybe cursor, or not. Okay, that's good enough for me. I'm just going to keep it like this. And I'm going to see if I can export that. So go right here, export to waveform.obj. And usually in a good program, you'll see a number of options for that. So I'm here in the folder for Hexagon exports, and I'm going to call this not an elephant. Right. And one thing I recommend is to use underscore or dashes. Don't use spaces in your file names if you can get away with it without it. No elephant. Or maybe just the start of an elephant, right? So I'm going to do that. And then that's it. We have some extra options. So we have some options to indicate the size, directions, axis mapping, UV, do we want it, normals, do we want it, merge all equal points, maybe do some computation there, equal UVs, merge equal UVs. There's a variety of things you could do to maybe make the file a little bit smaller, normals as well, flip textures. remove duplicate points. So I'm going to go with this right now. This probably worked before, and I don't know, you will want to experiment with all that. And here we go. So now let's go back to Howler and see if we can find that model. So we are back in Howler, and we're going straight to render and render geometry. So in that filter, it takes a little while. I have a slow disk here, a second disk. The initial view is in the Howler subdirectory where you have your PD Howler installed, so that should be on the C drive. And you will see the foliage directory and some test directory. I have a few more. I have also some terrains that I added. But I'm actually, you're going to see the trees there. That's obviously always a good place to experiment initially. And use the left button in the preview to navigate. Right button will position it, and there's another option here to move into the scene, and so on. So, but now what I'm going to do is go to the other folder. I have another disk here, the F drive, and in here I have OBJ, and probably good for demo for Hexagon. Let's see, there it is. Yep, we have Chris Locke, Michel Agulot. Oh, and it's not in here, so I need to go back up. It's probably above it that I may have an original. There's some DAZ. That's not it. Do I have another hexagon? There, maybe it's in this one. Yeah, there's no elephant. Okay, so I'm going to go load that, and there it is. All right, success. We do have no elephant. But you see, it can be quite easy to load it in. Now, not all models are created equal, and some models will not display just right away because they may be out of the sight, out of view. So like if you're behind, if you're in front of it or behind you, you may not see it. And you have a reset button here, and that will help. In future versions, we'll have some more things. Sometimes you need to go into bounding box mode. So as you're moving around, it switches to bounding box. And if you rotate, you may see parts of that bounding box if it happens to extend, because it does, right? It's the bounding box of every geometric part here. So it does have a better chance of being seen. For example, if it's out there somewhere far away, let me zoom in here and get it out of the view. Now it's kind of difficult to see. If I rotate around, I might have lost it, right? So, but sometimes you'll see it more easily, especially if you zoom out. Oh, there it is. Okay, so a little bit of trickery there to get to it if it's not already visible right from the beginning. But the coolest part, of course, is that you can change the massive amount of lighting here. You can also make it simply dark. So if you just want the profile, the outline, that's a great way to do it. That's sometimes a really great mask to have, right? And so you can do things like these. You can rotate them in different angles. And grab a brush, make a brush, and then you can enable the light and add to the brush. So now you have a brush, an animated brush with two. You can add a little bit more of the ambient light. Maybe we're on Mars, there's a little bit more red ambient. Maybe we change the orientation, the direction of the light source. This bluish one, maybe we want really white. And then the other one, this one, really purple. Something dark purple. I was going to say deep purple. I don't know if it's too early for that. Anyway, so here's our no elephant, and we'll add that to the brush, and so we're done now. Okay, that. So the brush gets automatically stored, and remember we had the first one was a black image and no shading, and now we have show film strips, and we have a series of renderings there. So if you paint with this, if you click this and you have that in the brush, you can see it here in the preview, and it's not the full size. Let's go full size. Now, as you're painting, it's cycling through these images, right? And of course, you can still do other things that are randomly added to that, such as random angle. There it is, a random angle. So now each frame is going to come at a different random angle. There's also hue, saturation. You could make it all very different saturation. Also the hue itself, value, very dark or very bright. So they all start looking very different, and that's where you have just one 3D object but thousands of possible ways to render. Thanks for watching this quick intro with a first Hexagon experience, and there will be more.